Yeah, I went to Vicenza, Italy in '09. We went to a general conference. Well, actually, back up a little bit more. There was a military ball that was going on, and all my leaders were saying, "You can go, you can bring a date." And I'm like, "I don't have a date. I don't want to go unless I have a date." So I went hunting to find a date. So I went around. There wasn't like nothing was too interesting in my ward. I mean, I have a different mentality when I look for girls than most people. Like, I can never ask people that I'm familiar with, because it's like if I ask a girl and they say no, then it's like, oh well, I'm gonna see her in church. It's gonna be awkward, and I don't want to do that. So I always go for like complete strangers. Like if they say no, then I'll never see them again. It's like I don't have anything to worry about. So I went with one of my buddies to Milano. It's a pretty good fashion city. One of the bigger fashion cities in the world. And we went to conference, and we sat through conference, and we had this little get together at the end, and like we were talking, and we were trying to point out all the girls. There were some cute ones. He's like, "Oh, what about that girl? That girl? That girl?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I like that one." And so I pointed to Giovanna first. I didn't get a chance to ask her, talk to her that much. She talked to me first, because we were Americans and everyone wanted to talk to us or whatever. She just talked to us for a little bit, and then we went to a little karaoke thing. And shortly after, like, some people left, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ask her. So I go up and I sit by her, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? She's like, good, stranger. So I told her, I'm like, well, in Vicenza, there's this like military ball we're having, and I'm trying to find a date. I was wondering if you'd like to go with me. And she's like, you? Yes, it is true. Anyway, she eventually I had to. It's Italy, they call it conquire. I had to conquire some, so I eventually convinced her to say yes. So we went down to, I guess we had a couple dates in between before the ball. So I went to Milan to go pick her up and to bring her to Vicenza. And we were running kind of late, so we kind of had a rush. And so we were getting on the train. We're like, oh, this way. She's all dragging around because she was Italian. She could go to trains, whatever, faster. She could read stuff better. So she's all trying to drag me around to the train. Like, we get on the train, like, all right, we're going to the ball. And then we get like maybe 30 minutes into the train ride, and then the conductor lady comes in. He's like, you guys are going in the opposite direction. You guys are going to Torino. I'm like, what? So we pretty much missed the ball, and she was all sad, and I was like, oh, it's okay, and she was like all grumpy, and I'm like, well, this is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of a weak and vulnerable girl. So I went like, it's okay, it'll be okay, and so she's like, who are you? Eventually she's like, well, if he's not mad at this, then I guess it's okay. She kind of let me hug her that time. No, you let me hug you, remember?
Well, it's kind of difficult to take off your big arms.
Eventually, we eventually made it to Vicenza, like way after the ball was over. We were hours late, so we never had a chance to make it to the ball. She stayed at our branch prison's house that night, and pretty much ever since that train ride, is when things started getting rolling. We started getting to know each other a little more. like every weekend or every other weekend or so, we started to see each other. I'd go up to Milan, she'd come down here, we'd talk, we'd have fun, we'd party, we'd do some stuff. Like, it was getting close to deployment, and so like I didn't want to make her feel like she had to stay with me, because a year is a long time to wait, and she said that she wanted to wait, she wanted to write me, so I got excited about that. And shortly after, when we were out in, while I was out in Afghanistan, there's a time when we can go home for about 2 weeks and see our families. So I went home. I invited Giovanna to come visit me while I'm home, and we did that. We decided to, I guess, to have a little more fun instead of staying at home, because you get a little cramped just staying in the house. We decided to go to Disneyland, go on vacation. So we went online. We found, like, well, got some plane tickets. We go there, go to Disneyland, and I guess we should back up a little bit more. Before we make it to Disneyland, I guess previously my grandmother died. She had a little heirloom, a ring that she kept, and like right when I got back from Afghanistan, like everyone was like, "So this girl, are you gonna marry her? Are you gonna marry her? Like, you gonna ask her to marry you?" And I'm like, "What do you want me to say to that?" So they're like, "Well, we got this ring here. Here, you should give this to her. It's my grandmother's heirloom, or my grandmother's ring. They let me use it to give to Giovanna, to keep it in the family, to pass it on." And so, like, the entire time, I was like, "Well, I'll hold it, but I'm not going to guarantee anything." So we go to California. We go to Disneyland. I talked to her for a little bit, and I guess I made the decision, like, yes, okay, I think I will ask her to marry me. So I kind of had to plan out the entire day. We went to breakfast with the stars. We were gonna go take pictures of Minnie Mouse and Winnie the Pooh and all those great stars. She loved it there. She thought it was the greatest thing. Well, she didn't like it in the beginning because we had to wake up early, and she's really not a very morning person. But we go there. We had a great time. We go to different rides, and then that afternoon, I kind of had to set up like different rides. Like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, kind of had like a little romance there, and then
it's a great place for romance.
It is. I mean, it was nice, but I guess the worst part about being in Disneyland at the time we went was during spring break, and it wouldn't be so bad if it was like during the college or high school spring break. No, we had to go during the elementary school spring break. So it was crowded. Later that evening, like I told her we were going to have dinner, and so we went back to the hotel. We got dressed. We got dressed into a little more elegant clothing. It wasn't that elegant. We still wore a pirate hat and like crazy little costume things. You should see Giovanna. She looks so adorable in the little hat, the little gloves. No, this is important stuff here. No, it is important. Anyway, okay, I guess I have to obey the wife. Anyway, we get back to, we were kind of running a little late. We got into the park just enough times before the fireworks started. I wanted to get there. I also planned out the dinner appointment, so like right after fireworks we could go to our dinner appointment. So we wanted to see fireworks, then we went to go to our dinner appointment, and I was just dazzled by how she was looking. And I know she's probably getting mad at me for saying this stuff again, but she looks so beautiful. And while we were having dinner, I just kept on staring at her, just like in such awe and such amazement. And I'm like, okay, can't take it anymore. Take out my napkin, I like toss it on the table, take out the ring, and kneel down in front of her. I'm like, Giovanna, will you marry me? And she was so adorable, but she was just like sitting there like staring at me. She's like, are you kidding me? Who are you? Kind of like in the past, she's always done this. Like, she never said yes to like anything right away when I asked her if she wanted to go to the ball or anything like that, or just go to the ask her to marry me or whatever. So, she took her time to say yes, but yeah, I could quiet her enough and eventually convince her to say yes, which is I'm so grateful for that. Shortly we came back home, got the ring fixed to a better setting, one that actually fits her finger, and eventually had to go back to Afghanistan and take care of business over there.